Have you ever just stopped, looked up at a skyscraper going up, and wondered about those giant machines? You know, the ones that seem to gracefully lift massive pieces of steel and concrete way up into the sky. Well, today, we're diving right into their world. We're talking about construction cranes, the real giants that piece our modern cities together.
And honestly, that's not an exaggeration. Think about it. This one piece of tech is pretty much the key to all high-rise construction. Without it, the skylines we all know, all those iconic cityscapes, they just wouldn't exist. It's a pretty wild thought, right?
And it turns out we are definitely not alone in being curious about this. If you take a quick look at what people are searching for online, you see a real fascination with these machines. We're asking about safety, we're asking how they work, and what it's even like to operate one. These are the exact questions we're going to tackle today. Okay, so this is the big one. This is one of the top questions people ask, and it's really the heart of our explainer. How does this massive piece of machinery do this incredibly delicate yet powerful dance hundreds of feet up in the air? Let's break it down. All right, first things first. To really get how it works, we need to know the key parts. Think of this as a quick tour of the machine's basic anatomy. So this is the part you always notice first, the boom. It's the crane's incredible long arm, and its whole job is to reach out and put materials exactly where they need to go. I mean, its length and its strength basically define the crane's entire workspace. And then, dangling from the end of the boom, you've got the hook. It might look small in comparison, but this is where all that power gets focused. It's engineered to securely grab and lift tons of building materials. We're talking steel beams, even entire sections of walls. And perched way, way up above the ground is the cabin. This thing is the nerve center, basically the brain of the whole operation. From inside that small glass box, a single operator controls every single move with incredible precision and focus. But here's the thing. As we just saw, that operator is in a cabin far, far away from the action down on the ground. This means the machine's power relies completely on a supercritical human partnership. So this is a really crucial point. Operating a crane is not a solo act. Not at all. It's more like a symphony of coordination, communication, and trust between the team members. Without that human element, the machine is really just a bunch of inert steel. Now this is where it gets really interesting. You have the operator way up high in the cabin controlling the machine. But then, down on the ground, you have the signalman. That person is, quite literally, the operator's eyes and ears. Using this really precise language of hand signals, the signalman directs the entire lift, making sure the load moves safely and lands exactly where it needs to. Okay, so now that we get this whole partnership thing, let's see how it all comes together to perform the crane's main function, what we could call the art of the lift. And you can see that four-step dance happening right here. It all starts on the ground. The signalman secures the load and basically becomes the operator's eyes. Then, based purely on that trust and communication, the operator engages the controls, that massive boom swings into place, and the load is gently set down with just incredible precision. Now, with all that weight moving so high up, you might be wondering about safety. And you'd be right to. It is the absolute #1 priority on any construction site, period. And in fact, if we go back to those popular search queries, we see things like tower crane checklist for safety and mobile crane safety inspection. It's so clear that understanding the safety side of things is just as important to people as understanding the mechanics. So how did they do it? Well, it's a multi-layered approach. Modern cranes have these really sophisticated systems, like load limit indicators. And they don't just weigh the load, they calculate all the insane leverage and torque to prevent an overload that could tip the entire machine. Then, you combine that with strict human protocols, mandatory daily checklists, regular inspections of every single nut and bolt, and, most importantly, constant crystal-clear communication between the entire crew. So when you put all these pieces together, the mechanics, the teamwork, and the intense focus on safety, you really start to see the bigger picture. It just becomes so obvious that for the kind of vertical cities we live in today, cranes aren't just some convenient tool. Nope, they're an absolute necessity. Trying to move heavy materials to those heights is, well, it's pretty much impossible without them. And this phrase right here, the backbone of the construction industry, I think that's the perfect summary. Just like a spine, the crane provides that central support that allows the entire skeleton of a building to rise, floor by floor, right up into the sky.
So hopefully the next time you see a crane against the skyline, you'll know the incredible story of engineering and human collaboration that's happening right in front of you. Which kind of leaves us with one final thought. As our buildings keep getting smarter and taller, pushing the limits of what we think is possible, what new giants will we need to build the cities of tomorrow?